guys, we're going to study briefly, on immutability. These are all brief. You could spend, lifetimes into these topics, but the immutability of God, we're going to be talking about related to, as all of our subjects are geared around apologetics, presuppositional apologetics, and the immutability of God, as we mentioned, is the foundation for laws of logic and mathematical physical laws. But you can have some basis for when you think of God, who is a spirit, who is not physical, and he does not change. He's absolute, invariant, immutable. Well, that makes some sense as to how there could be laws that have those characteristics. So with the immutability of God, the Bible says that God does not change, and he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's from everlasting to everlasting, that he endures throughout all generations, and that his years shall not fail. So we're going to put verses in the description below also for all these for your further study. But when the immutability of God is going to create some issues, because we see God within time and space, and then we see God in his eternal state, and these create issues we're going to cover in the next study also. But just because God is immutable and he doesn't change doesn't mean that he can't act and judge and bless and answer prayers and have passions, as we see him within time interacting with creation. And so we see these things in the Bible very clearly, that God expresses these things. They're not meaningless, they have meaning. And so just as Jesus is God incarnate, and he had anger, and then he had love and compassion, he was moved with compassion. We see these things within Christ in his incarnation. It doesn't indicate a change in God. It doesn't mean that God changed. And so when God manifests himself within time and space, that doesn't mean there's a change from his eternal state. He's still in his eternal state, and he manifests himself within time. They're both true. It's not a contradiction. It's nothing irrational about that, any more than when we see the economic Trinity, which is God, in the subordination of the Son to the Father, and the sending of the Spirit in the operation of creation and redemption. That doesn't indicate a change in God in his ontological eternal state. So these aren't contradictions. They just require us to accept the Bible as it is, and believe what it says the way it says it. And if we don't understand it, that's fine. We would expect there to be paradoxes or apparent paradoxes that we can't reconcile in our own feeble minds, right? So any God that you can explain with your mind is a God of your own mind. So anyway, we're going to take the next video to cover some of the excesses of immutability, how it can lead into errors of either hyper-Calvinism or open theism. So a misunderstanding of these things can lead to those excesses, those extremes. So just take a moment, look at the verses that we're going to put in the description below, and we'll pick up some of those excesses in the next video. All right.